Hello, everyone. This is Venus Brown with another reaction to The Crown. I am back from my vacation, taking an Alaskan tour and going to see my family members in Washington State. It was a lot of fun, but I am glad to be home now. This is season 4, episode 7, called The Hereditary Principle. Maybe they're talking about hereditary, like your genetics passed down from family member to family member. But then maybe again, because this is the crown and they're dealing with a lot of policies and ideas based on royalty and the British crown, maybe it has something to do with that. But we'll see.
You, Annette. Right then, Catherine. You, Narissa. Go. Swallowed. Well done. Very good stuff. Bedtime.
And here is the intro for The Crown, Season 4. If you like this content, you can go ahead and click that thumbs up button. If you like, you can click the bell to subscribe. And if you click all, you'll get notifications whenever new content is loaded. You can share or even save it to watch later if you like. And there it is. The Crown. Ta-da! Let's dance. Hide, hide, hide.
Very.
Wicked gossip.
About someone famous.
Yes. But I must ask you to keep it a secret.
No, do be quiet. Yeah, I'll be the judge of that when I hear it.
Ma'am,
Dazzle.
you're not taking this seriously. I have greatly enjoyed the last few months and the closeness that has developed between us.
Not closeness, intimacy.
Oh, God.
But
There was a time when the men I loved would simply leave me for other women. Now they leave me for the church. Who? Derek Jennings? Dazzle. Yes, Dazzle. What are we doing with him? Falling slightly in love. The thing that works best for him, which is the priesthood.
Catholic priesthood.
Yes.
Friend of Dorothy.
Dazzle.
Famously, yes.
who's Dorothy?
Sure. But the way he looks at me
Who is
sometimes-
Dorothy?
Am I that stupid?
I don't like the sound of that cough.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And you've been struggling with
No,
your
that
chest for a
doesn't
while.
sound fine.
Margaret was smoking as many as 60 cigarettes a day, and that, of course, would go against
I think
any
we'll
medical
switch
advice.
this off, shall we?
Princess Margaret will stay in hospital.
Princess Margaret will be fine, dear. Princess Margaret.
I'm sorry, what's your name again? The runt of the litter, dear Edward. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. Please? All of that. Come off it. Chop it up in two. Seeing as it's your sister's birthday, you get...
Finally ready to focus on the one thing that won't let me down.
What's that?
Us, as a royal.
I hope she was going to say herself, but
So, I come on bended knee with a familiar request. Responsibility as you can. As many jobs, as much work.
it reminds me of my Biohazard game. I think that's what it's called.
I'm to talk to you about the 1937 Regency Act, which created a list of senior royals who could be called on to deputise for the monarch on formal occasions. Its 21st birthday of Prince Edward means that he is now of age, and as a child of the sovereigns, well, he ranks higher than you in the line of succession. And you will therefore relinquish your role as Councillor of State.
So not only not getting
Don't take that
more
away from me. It's all
work,
I've got.
Oh, Margaret.
but
Makes
getting
no
less.
sense. I have the maturity, I have the wisdom, not to mention the experience. Edward's a boy.
Concentrate on your convalescence.
Mm-hmm.
Would you leave us, please? It scares me. It fills me with dread. I want something to fill it with.
Well, you still have your interests. Friends.
Friends. It's the ones worth knowing. They're fed up with me. I asked you for just one thing. To give me work. A purpose. Dignity.
Yes, and if it were up to me...
I don't know why, it's really bothering me.
Everything all right?
No.
Nope. Have you been called out of concern?
Start seeing someone.
Mm-hmm.
I know about that.
No, not Camilla. I meant a professional.
Head shrinker.
But I would urge you to try seeing someone too.
Are you both ganging up?
Well, I'm so opposed to all of this. I find it so pathetic. Violates everything I was brought up to believe.
What were you brought up to believe?
So I do find it interesting, this insistence for some people on like being against therapy, this massive stigma. And there's really a lot of stigma in a lot of society when it comes to mental health therapy and stuff. But I just don't really understand why, other than the cultural aspects, other than the stigma that exists that makes society feel like it's something to push aside and something to steer away from. It was that way once too, because my family felt that way about it. But at the same time, once I got to a position where I felt that I needed help, I wanted to get help. Maybe some of it is not that I don't understand why, but more that I wish that it weren't like this. Our mental health should be just as important to us as the rest of our health, our well-being, how we are with people in society, that our ability to work and make money and all our mental health should be just as important as all of that. And for some reason, it seems like a good majority of society has placed it so low in our list of priorities and things to take care of. Yes, because it's so massively stigmatized. And because if you're getting therapy or if you feel that you need help and you're not good enough or there's something wrong with you or whatever, I just wish it weren't that way. But I realize that it is.
Feeling a little low. For a while now. Muscle through.
Are you aware of anyone else in your immediate family struggling with mental health issues?
Prince of Wales. He has his ups and downs. I wouldn't say that's a condition. That's just marriage.
So I think he's had
John
issues
Gloucester.
before.
Because of the sisters.
Sisters?
Does she even
What
know about them?
sisters? That's when she told me about our cousins. Our first cousins, Catherine and Nerissa, Beau's Lion. Third and fifth daughters, Mummy's favourite elder brother, Uncle Jock, being locked up.
And Nerissa. They're terrible problems. But they're long dead.
No.
It's my understanding they're both very much alive.
Interesting. I would think that them being the royal family of Great Britain, that they would like really keep track of this stuff. And this is like what, at least 3 family members now that we know they have not kept track of, that they really knew very little about, who were basically put away. My mom and my dad both come from very large families. And my dad's side, we do keep fairly good track of all of that. However, on my mom's side, I don't think they really did. There was a problem of my grandfather on her side dying when she was very young, my grandmother being mentally ill herself, so the family kind of breaking off, kind of pushing them aside. So that part of the family really became very lost to us for a long time. It wasn't until my aunt and uncle on my mom's side started looking into that they actually started to form some relationships with our past family members that had pushed us aside and done some of the ancestral research and stuff like that. So we definitely did not keep a lot of track of that side, and I'm learning all the time about new family members. But even on my grandpa's side where we did keep up, there are definitely family members where, I haven't heard of, or I haven't heard of in forever, and every now and then we'll hear something about it. But still, I don't know. It just seems like you would think that with them being a royal family, like that's part of your history, and that would be something that you would need to keep up with.
Nerissa, deceased 1940. Catherine, deceased 1961. There it is in black and white. Both died long ago.
Oh, strange.
So did somebody write them off as dead when they were very well alive?
Mr. Jennings.
Just horrible.
Dazzles later. Now go.
Are alive, ma'am.
You saw them.
I did. They're like children, ma'am. But they know who you are. And they know who your sister is. They have pictures of the whole family, which they know is their family.
Don't you?
Oh, yes.
Keeps it in pride of place, she does.
There are more.
What?
Family. Oh.
More relatives. Cousins of theirs, equally afflicted.
A whole line of their family just like brushed aside and erased, just like blocked out of the rest of society because they're not mentally well. But we have in our family, we have many, many family members that are on the autism spectrum, have ADHD, that have other mental illness issues, and the idea of just locking them away for the rest of the family to completely forget about. That's just terrible.
For long walks this morning.
Well, you and I are about to go for another.
Woohoo!
Steal her away, do you? Five, Mummy. 5 members of our close family locked up and neglected.
What do you expect us to do?
Behave like human beings.
Don't be so naive. We had no choice.
Bullshit.
They're your nieces. Daughters of your favorite brother.
They were unwell. Aunt Fenella was overwhelmed. And then the way things suddenly changed for all of us. None of us could have foreseen it.
What's it?
Well, the abdication, of
Not
course.
everything that is wrong with this family can be explained away by the abdication.
But the abdication did change everything.
It's not. It's wicked. And it's cold-hearted. It's cruel. It's entirely in keeping with the ruthlessness I myself have experienced in this family. If you're not first in line, if you're an individual character with individual needs, and God forbid, an irregular temperament, if you don't fit the perfect mold of silent, dutiful supplication, then you'll be spat out, or you'll be hidden away, or worse, declared dead.
And you go and lock people away like that, and you don't even freaking visit them. People without family members involved when they're locked away are much more likely to be abused, to become more mentally unhealthy than people that actually have members come and support them.
From being the wife of the Duke of York, Queen, and wife of a king emperor. At the same time, my family, the Boselans, went from being minor Scottish aristocrats to having a direct bloodline to the crown in the children of my brother,
Catherine and Nerissa.
and their first cousins.
Edonia. Etheltreda and Rosemary.
Paying a terrible price. Their illness make people question the integrity of the bloodline. Hereditary Principle already hangs by such a precarious thread.
You write them off and act like they don't exist.
It's all
And make
their
no
disease,
effort to
isn't it?
frickin' even look at
They-
them.
They tell you you can't marry. Every diminishment, every rotten misfortune is written in my blood. So, without tiptoeing to protect me or dressing things up, tell me the truth. As well as being born second, am I destined to be mad too?
No, ma'am. This condition seems to have descended from their common maternal grandfather. Recessive gene responsible for their condition lies with the Clinton family.
Hidden away. And what my family did was unforgivable.
It was anyway. They can dress it up with whatever reasons and excuses they want. It was unforgivable.
Find a moment. Perhaps you will pray for me.
I will.
I was hoping they'd show the other cousins also on the end there, but they didn't. The mental health stuff is so... What Margaret is going through, like, that can be so freaking lonely. Like, even if you have a lot of people around in your support network, it can still feel so freaking lonely and isolating. And then when you don't have anyone, even more so. But some people don't understand that. They think, oh, well, you have everything going for you, and you have all these people, and everything seems so great and so wonderful. What do you have to be depressed about? What do you have to be upset about? I look at depression as just being a little low, but that's not what it is. That's just not. There's so much more to it. It's so much more complicating. And you can be, just fine sometimes. Many mental illnesses have highs and lows, where sometimes you do fairly well and you seem okay, and sometimes you're just down in this pit. I will work on editing this and get it out to all of you, and I will see you next week. While we were on vacation, I found out that Heartstopper Season 2 came out. Now, when I started doing these reactions, I had already watched Season 1 of Heartstopper. I really, really love that show. I'm not going to jump straight into Season 2. I will go ahead and do reactions to Season 1, even though, yes, I already watched it. And then I will do Season 2 after that. Just like Crown, I will do one episode a week. Should be starting right after this. So give me a day or two and I should be able to get the first episode of Heartstopper Season 1 out. Bye.
Until next time, I'll see you when I see you. If you like this video, please click the like button. If you want more content, click subscribe. If you click that little bell and click all, then you'll get more content notifications.